Immerse yourself in the profound insights offered by Father Chuck Belmonte as he delves into daily reflections on various gospel passages from the Bible.
How does God answer our requests, from blessing to protection? How to interpret the three yeses of divine love? On the path of faith, we often imagine God as a great manager of requests. However, the spiritual theology of the great doctors of the Church reveals that God does not respond automatically like an algorithm, but like a good father. His language unfolds in three movements that, although sometimes mysterious, always seek the fullness of the human being. 1. The yes that blesses, the grace of consonance. When man's desire aligns with God's plan, his yes appears as a door that swings wide open. It is not merely a reward for effort, but an active blessing. According to the Catechism of the Catholic Church, a blessing is a divine action that gives us life and whose source is the Father. Impact. This yes confirms us in our vocation and gives us the joy of ripe fruit. Attitude, it is received with gratitude and humility, remembering that every perfect gift comes from above. 2. The waiting that strengthens, the crucible of hope. At times the answer seems to remain unresolved. This is not divine oversight. It is a lesson for us to grow. Saint Ignatius of Loyola taught that in times of desolation or waiting, the soul expands. Sometimes God's silence is his greatest gift. Waiting fulfills vital functions in the architecture of the Spirit. You must purify the intention. Ask yourself if you are seeking God or God's consolations. Develop patience, a cardinal virtue that allows us to possess ourselves to give ourselves to others. Increase the desire. As St. Augustine said, God delays what he does not want to give soon so that you learn to desire more strongly. 3. The no that protects, the invisible hand of the shepherd. Perhaps the most difficult answer to process is the negative one. However, from an analytical and faith-based perspective, God's no is, in reality, a yes to something greater or a protection against a present evil we cannot see. Lord, do not give me what I want, but what you know is good for me. God, possessing an eternal vision beyond linear time, protects us from our own short-sightedness. A no today can be the safeguard of our peace tomorrow. It is the manifestation of preventive mercy. He closes doors that lead to dead ends, even if at the time the deadbolt seems unjust. Conclusion: intelligent trust. Understanding that God blesses, strengthens, and protects us is a transition from a childlike faith to a mature and constructive one. The spiritual life is not about convincing God to do our will, but about aligning our will with His. At the end of the day, we discover that even in His silences and refusals, God is actively working for our holiness. In His will is our peace.
I would be delighted to extend an invitation to you once again tomorrow for another insightful reflection on the Gospel by Father Belmonte.